I want to be able to do the middle splits.
Oh.
You clearly can.
I got you. So what do you typically do for like a warm up for that sort of stretch?
Bike, I might do a little bit of these. Probably hold this position here.
Typically for a middle split, I just get the blood pumping in the area, and I'll do that with like a Cossack squat. But instead of just doing a Cossack squat, I'll keep my hips low and I'll shift from side to side. The goal is to just kind of chase a pump. Huge stretch, the blood is flowing. I do that for, I don't know, till I feel like stopping. After I finish that, I typically move on to a little bit more of a passive approach, but instead of for like the adductors, which that one was for, I go directly to the hip itself, and I do that with like a Taylor sit like this. So you pull those feet in as close as possible. You can use your elbows to push the knees down, and you sink your torso down toward your feet as much as possible. When you can't really go any further down, there's nowhere else to go but up, so I typically make it active by going up like this and arching my back, so it's a deeper stretch the whole time.
Arching the back, that's a semicircle. Oh.
That's actually beautiful. That's really good.
Yeah, it feels really great. I'm not arching shit.
So after I would do that, I would move on to something else that your middle splits use a lot, which is your hamstrings. And I typically do, I do something a little more nervy for that, and I do like elephant walks. So what I'll do is I'll reach down toward the ground, bend one knee and sink that hip down, and that opposite leg, I'll feel tingles all the way down into the bottoms of my feet, and I'll shuffle from side to side. And again, this is still part of the warm-up for me, so I kind of just go by feel.
It's not a warm-up for me.
Well, that's great. That means you're gonna adapt a lot more. Getting a good view back here.
Yeah, buddy, they're missing out.
Now I go directly on to the middle split practice, active and then passive. For the active one, I do what's called a standing pancake. So I go down toward my middle split and I stop above where it starts to feel intense, and then I hinge my hips and I hold this and I squeeze the ground together.
That's what you do. What do I do?
So the goal is to put those adductors under stretch and then flex them, activate them the whole time you're there. And I'll actually hold this for multiple sets of 30 seconds.
Feet are going wider. I'm letting them go.
That's great. As soon as it gets too deep, you're gonna have to assist yourself so that you don't go any deeper, because you don't wanna lose the muscle activation there. So after a couple sets of that, the active stretches, there's nothing left to do but to actually do the middle splits. All you do is you just sink your pelvis to the ground and bring your chest closer to the ground as well. And the last step here is arch that back like crazy.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, the more arched it is, the deeper you'll go.
That just made it so gnarly.
So it's the difference between this is as far as I can go with a rounded back, but when I arch my back, I just automatically start to sink way deeper down.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, and that's it. And then you've achieved it. So
just staring at him like,
you're actually, like with this depth, you're only about 1 month of hard flexibility training away from a full split.
I don't understand. Thanks, David.
Stay flexy.